I think growing consistently month over month for 5 years is underrated now because some people get there in 5 months that it's cooler or something. When in reality, 95% of your customers aren't happy. Neither are you. So it's like you might as well get there the right way instead of getting there fast.
Yeah. No, dude.
Yeah.
Totally. And then like
Yeah.
here's the lie of scaling quick. Here's the lie. You might put a lot of cash in the bank, but you build another form of debt.
Mm-hmm.
And the form of debt that you build is one of a total personal life destruction. So that's the first form that you just like, and by all means, if that's what you are okay with, then like go do it. Like that's somebody's prerogative, but you just have to be okay with that. And if you're okay with it, then go do it. I wasn't. Like I wanted to get married, like I want to balance some relationships here. Like I've got like a great family, siblings, parents, like all these things. Like I don't want to like do 12-hour days and sleep 6 hours a night and wake up and within 10 minutes get back to work and just like do that.
Yeah.
Like that's what you do. And if you're cool with that, do it. I wasn't. The other form of debt is in the form of just in general, man, if you're scaling that quickly, you can't build the right product. So if you see guys who scale that quick, but then they change their niche like 6 times in the process, you know what I mean? And it's because like they build this form of debt in the form of a product that didn't all the way meet expectations, and then slowly but surely people just kind of start to talk about it, and it's harder and harder to sell. So the further they scale, actually the quicker they're helping the market find out that they're not really worth buying. And then it's like this problem of like, you know, they build these like cheaply built products with like Google Documents and like Loom videos, and they just throw it together in like a week and everything. And some people love it. Some people love the quick, direct, you know, thing. But the problem is they leave so many questions unanswered. And then they build that debt, and then they have to change their niche. So you got to change your niche. You got to destroy your personal life. And then the last one is like team. This is something too. Like you see all these people hiring constantly. Like they're constantly looking for new talent because they're running their company like at Mach 10 all the time. And some people like they plug in, and within 24 hours they're given 80 million little tasks, and it's just like whoa, where'd this come from? And they can't keep up, you know? So yeah.
And I think I couldn't put words to how I've been feeling, but as soon as you started like talking about the debt, that's what I felt. That was the feeling I was trying to describe earlier when you asked like what regarding income. The more you make in a negative way creates more debt. And I don't know what that debt is because I haven't experienced it before, but you just described it. And the realization that I had, what I want to do, and again, I love selling. I think we could transition, honestly, to talking about sales too here in a second.
Let's do it.
I love selling, but I need to keep serving before selling. I should never, like I've gotten this new thing, and you know, I sold for you, so I learned a lot of my selling from you, but I want to serve people into my offers, not sell them. And I think you do a really good job of that, especially on YouTube. Like I remember how I felt when I was watching your content. Like I literally joined your program I felt like I had to book a call. Like you've given me so much free value. I'd be an absolute moron to not book a call. So that's the feeling I want to recreate in people, never twisting someone's arm. So whenever you serve before you sell, naturally you will make less. But I think you make a greater impact. So I'm cool with chilling around like 50 to 100K or whatever that number turns into. I don't want to focus on the number. I want to focus on serving. And then the number will go wherever the level of my serving goes. Does that make sense? So it's like, I just want to focus on giving value, and however much money I make or don't make, that's kind of not in my hands anymore.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's the only real way to sustain it, honestly, because otherwise, you know, you build like, you make a lot of money, but like if we could financially measure the form of debt that you build by doing it any other way than that, then you'd pretty much be at a net zero, even if you have like 5 mil in the bank, because it's like you have all these other things. Like you got to like figure out what your next offer is going to be, and you got to make hires over and over again, and people like they build their companies to sustain that level of scale by like building great training processes for team and all these things. And like kudos, like I think that's amazing, like that they can do that. Like we're aiming at like 500 a month in 2023, and the only way we're gonna do it, dude, is just by like over giving. And you know, we do make like, you know, we had a guy join our mastermind who came from cold, and like he paid the full rate, and that was awesome. And like, you know, we don't always give before. We also, it's kind of, here's my mix. Like half of your sales should be just like reciprocity driven. The other half should be like, you know, they're a great fit and you're trying to get them out of their own way.
Yeah.
But it's never like twist an arm. Like I call off deals all the time. I feel like, hey man, like I just feel like, you know, you don't believe that this is the right fit for you. It doesn't matter if I do or not. The fact that you don't, like, that's fine. I'm not going to sit here and try and convince you. I know that it's a great fit, but if you don't trust me, ultimately that's I'll take responsibility for that. You go find somebody who you trust.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like, if you know they're a great fit and you're telling them, it doesn't even matter, but if they don't trust you first, you know what I mean? And so like, how do you build trust quickly? Well, you can't. It's physically impossible. Like that's human nature. Yeah. Trust takes time. It takes seeing somebody do what they said they're going to do over a good enough period of time. And then you're like, oh, I can trust them. Right.
Yeah.
So trust, it can't be artificially created. You know what I mean? It has to actually be invested in and instilled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, like, I think there's a way. Let me ask you this. How can you speed up the trust building process? I have a few thoughts. Like, for instance, or you go ahead and answer. You answer, and then I bet you'll say what I'm thinking.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there's a way to speed it up. Social proof is one. Authority is another. You know, there's these other ways of building trust quickly, like that marketers talk about all the time, like social proof, authority, testimonials, whatever. Those are forms of building trust. So integrating those into your sales process, whatever that looks like. Like one thing that we started doing is like when somebody books a call with us, we immediately just like send them over a full explainer video of like what we do, how it works, everything, our guarantee, all this stuff, and then like that way they know what they're getting themselves into. I don't know. That's what I think. What do you think?
Dude, I think all of those things you just said, but there's one that I just recently I've been thinking through. Authenticity.
How so?
That I feel like that is the quickest way to build trust is authenticity. So it's like I can show someone a testimonial, I can show someone the process, I can show someone my own results, but the authenticity is what puts us like on the same page, if that makes sense. So it's like I remember why I felt like I needed to book a call with you. You were a Christian, you liked watches, cigars, all these other things. You were just authentic, you were transparent about your actual life as a human. And it created like these intertwinings of trust because not even that you did it intentionally, but because you showed different angles of you, I related to you. Does that make sense? So it's like because you were authentic, I was able to relate to you, which caused me to trust you. Like I felt like I could get on a call with you and I just trust that you knew how to get me where I needed to go because you were there and because we shared commonalities.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I mean, that's the concept of, in marketing, the attractive character, you know?
Yeah.
It's like sharing their values very openly, their backstory very openly, saying things people might not agree with, but then the people who do agree with it really like them and are more likely to do business with them. Like,
yeah. Dude,
like,
so there's
a science to that.
I need to be more polarizing, dude.
Yeah, think so?
Like, some of the things we've said in this podcast, like, some people probably already clicked off. Like, oh, they're talking about, you know, faith. I'm done. It's like,
oh, yeah,
bro.
Totally. They're already out.
Yeah. So
they're
it's
lost.
Like, it's like, man, I love that.
If you enjoyed this clip and you want to mentor directly underneath me and learn all of the strategies that we've implemented to our students' businesses to help over 100 people reach 6 figures a year, 100 to $999,000 a year, and over, I think it's 15 students as of January 2023 to $1 million a year or more, then I want you to go ahead and schedule your completely free consultation with us. There's no pressure to make a decision. We're not going to force your hand. We're just trying to figure out what it is that you need in order to take that next step to either start your online consulting or coaching business in any niche, any industry, or take your existing consulting or coaching business and really scale it to that next level in order to really sustain a business, put a lot of money in the bank very quickly, and serve a lot of people. Okay, so you can use the pinned comment on this video, or if you're listening on our podcast, go to treycockrum.com/schedule-page, and you can check out that page. It's just a simple schedule page. If you fill out a form and we want to know a bit about you, a bit about where you're coming from and what's motivating you to even speak with us so that we can make sure we give you the best options. And if we notice that you're honestly not in the best place to get started, whether that's financially or time constraints or otherwise, we'll make some other suggestions to you, okay? Our reputation is everything to us, so we're only going to really make offers to people we know for a fact that we can help. And even if we don't make you an offer, it will still be some of the best 45 to 60 minutes you've spent on your business this year, because you're going to get a custom strategy and be told exactly what you should do next. Okay, so book your free consultation using the link in the description or in the pinned comment, or if you're listening on a podcast, treycockrum.com/schedule-page. See you there.